is Tuesday, September 12th, 2023, and looking out the window at Defiance. It's kind of a rainy, overcast morning, but I think that's going to be breaking up and kind of a mixed day with pleasant temperatures in the low 70s, actually. Cool tomorrow, and highs only in the 60s, and I think a low in the lower 40s tomorrow night, so it's going to be quite chilly. The devotion we have for today is entitled Our House Was a Point of Entry, written by Lillian Daniel. Lillian bases the devotion upon Romans chapter 15, verse 7. Welcome one another, therefore, just as Christ has welcomed you for the glory of God. And then Lillian writes, Our house was a point of entry, my friend Rudy said of his childhood in a Midwestern industrial town where his dad worked one good job for a lifetime at the steel mill. Rudy recalled union picnics and church Christmas programs. They weren't just for union members or church folk. Free food, acrobats, Christmas presents were for everybody, including those new to town. For while Rudy was raised in one small town in Indiana, his mother was raised in another small town in Mexico, and she did not leave that behind. Rudy recalled how his mother's relatives from Mexico came to stay with them in Indiana for months at a time as they began new lives. Excuse me. He talked about how much bigger his world became because of the cousins who came through their home, saying again, Our house was a point of entry. I felt convicted because I do not think of my home that way. When I'm out speaking, when I drive on the highway, when I stand in line at a crowded grocery store, I know I have to share space with strangers. But as an introvert, I'm always longing for that moment when I finally get to close the door on the people I do not know and settle into my small fortress of the familiar. When I think of points of entry, I picture the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island and other places that are definitely not my house. To be honest, even the phrase conjures up anxiety of standing in long lines at airports where officers checking passports make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Then I rage at the brutality of my own nation's border, where some offer each other water, but more just yell from afar for taller walls. But what about all the other points of entry, the intimate ones that are right in front of me? What if my home or my church home try that again. What if I thought of my home or my church home as a point of entry? Rather than being a safe place for me and mine, its purpose would be transformed to something better and more biblical, a point of entry for the one who has yet to arrive. End of prayer. Make my sacred space a point of entry, welcoming Christ, whether I'm ready for that or not. Well, for me, I think lots of different things come to mind reading this devotion. Of course, sometimes just the concept of borders does drive me crazy because we're on this earth together. We're one people in the whole world. But I guess what really struck me was the last paragraph. Oh, hold on a second. Let me let my dog in. Sorry about the interruption. Willow scratching at the door. Really, the last paragraph talking about other points of entries, like our house, our church, our lives. The things that swirled through my head with regard to that is with ourselves, our attitude can be a point of entry of God into the world, of Jesus into the world, how we treat other people, how we welcome strangers is a point of entry for God, for Jesus into the world through our own lives. Same with our homes or our church homes. And with regards to the church home, the one thing that this made me think of is how often churches become insular, and the church becomes a safe haven for those who belong and a place for them to escape from the world rather than a point of entry for others to be welcomed into the loving embrace of a community. Sometimes I really feel like that's one of the things that's driving our churches down in our attendance is that we become an institution and we become insular, and we think of our church homes as our church, and we say we welcome other people, but really we don't, because we don't want change, and new people bring change. Lots of other things were going through my mind as I was reading this. You may get something completely different out of it, but those are my thoughts for the day. I hope you have a good day, and I hope to talk to you soon.